Hey, what's up? It's your radio love, Deja Vu. We're in the studio. Always have your favorite celeb stopping by. And today we have the legendary Miss Lynn Whitfield. How are you?
I'm great. How are
You
you?
look amazing.
Thank you.
Listen, okay, so we got to get some beauty secrets when I get out of here when we get finished. Off that's a combo for off mic. But no, you're here to talk all about your role on The Shy season 6 as Alicia. Okay, I
Yes.
know you've been busy. Give us the inside scoop on what this diva is up to this season.
Well, I mean, she's just kind of, taking her charge,
Mhm.
stepping into her place of power, seeking retribution,
Uh-huh. All
revenge.
the things that a true diva
I
does.
well, when you lose a family, I mean, it's part of it I kind of take seriously
Yeah.
because there've been so many mothers or family members who've lost people
Mhm.
to gun violence and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's real in Chicago.
I
So it's
know.
real all over this country, right? So, what do you go through
Mhm.
when you grieve, when you lose?
Mhm.
Some people decide to go with legal ways and others decide they're going to take matters into their own hands. So she's doing that.
Yeah.
She's also seeing that after she loses her brother, she loses her ex-husband, that she needs somebody in her life. So
Mhm.
she and Shad, she says, I need somebody with me, somebody to protect me,
To
somebody
protect
there
her
for
to wear the jacket, to put
me,
on the
to put on the jacket
Yes.
and give a little hugs, a little
Yeah.
love. So yeah, unapologetically, she does all of this stuff. So I love that,
Uh-huh.
because, women are always apologizing for something,
Come on.
you
And
know?
let's do it unapologetically now.
And so this is unapologetically. So that's good for Lynn.
Mhm.
That's good for Lynn to, experience a woman who's like, no, I'm not sorry. This is what needs to happen.
Right.
And yes, I want you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Come
come
on.
on
I'm not,
over.
yeah, it's fine. I don't have to explain to anybody,
I
apologize for
know that's
anything.
right.
Isn't it's,
It's freeing.
it's freeing,
Mhm.
even though for myself, I don't know if I quite take authority that way, but it's really great to experience a woman who does.
Yes. That's awesome. Okay, so now we've talked about Alicia. We'll get back to her in a second. I
Yeah.
want to talk about you. Run us back a little bit for people who don't know. How did you get into the business? Why did it start? I know I read that you come from a family of people who were doing things in the arts. And how did the bug bite you?
Girl, in the womb. I just don't know.
Yeah?
I don't feel like I ever had a choice in this.
Mhm.
First, I wanted to be a ballerina, and then I realized that really hurt
Yeah.
physically.
Yes.
That was like really hard,
I've seen people's
strenuous
toes. That's
work. It's
grueling.
really
Yeah.
rough, and the teachers with the cane and the
Mhm.
pain and the I was like, and then all of a sudden it was like acting, and that was from about 4,
Mhm.
5 years old, and it never changed.
Wow. So you kinda always knew what you wanted to
Yeah,
do.
I would watch the late movies. My grandmother, Estelle, would sneak me up and let me watch the late night movie with her,
Mhm.
even though it was school time.
Well, grandmas
And
do that though.
I know they do. I was the special one.
Oh, look
And so and so, you just don't I don't know. It was like, why? These people are making me cry. They're making
Mhm.
me laugh.
Mhm.
They look real pretty. They're telling stories. They're moving the atmosphere of things. And I just said, I looked at her one day. I said, Grandma, when I grow up, that's what I want to do. And I remember her saying, and I was a little annoyed, even as a
Mhm.
little precocious kid. I said, that's what I want to do when I grow up. I'm going to do that just like, and it was probably like Betty Davis or something,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Ruby Dee or Marilyn Monroe. And she looked at me and said, oh, that's nice, baby. And I could tell she didn't believe
Well,
me.
you were only 4.
And
Oh, come on.
I just really felt so I never had a choice,
Yeah.
in what I was going to do. I've just been pursuing it forever. I just knew. Now, I'll tell you something wrong when you it's not wrong, but there's a shortfall when you
Mhm.
know what you wanna do so young.
What is that?
Well, you try to cut any class that doesn't concern it.
Talk
You know,
about
you
it.
just try to shortcut, right? So that's why I'm not fluent in French. You know, I knew history would be important, you know.
Right.
I could not see any use for math or
Me
science.
either. I said, "I'm gonna be a broadcaster." I know, I see, I'm similar. I
Yeah.
wasn't 4, I was 8 when I
Oh,
knew what
you
I
were
wanted,
8.
when I knew I
Okay.
wanted to be a broadcaster, and I'm like, "Mom, why do I don't need this science stuff. Why I don't,
Yeah.
this has nothing to do with me. I'm gonna
Yeah.
speak. I need to know how to
Yes.
write. I need to know how
Yes.
to speak." That's it, yeah.
So that's it. So so
Mhm.
so I cut corners,
Mhm.
you know, on some things, and that's the shortfall of knowing what you wanna do. And the win is that, you know, you don't waste any time,
I know that's right.
you know, and you just start to look into it, experiment with it sooner rather than later.
Can you remember when you booked your first professional thing, like maybe after college or whatever? Did you go out to Hollywood? Was it on the East Coast? What did you
No,
do?
no, no. The first thing that I booked out of college was the International Company of for Colored Girls Who've Considered Suicide When the Rain Was Enough. With Alfre
Wow.
Woodard was a part of the company, and we were going to Australia.
Wow.
Yes.
So that
So
was a
we were
whole different world in real life.
that was a whole different world in real life. I went to Australia. I said, "Oh my god, this is, like, amazing. I have to," 'cause, you know, it was in the day where it was all brother, you know, you
Yes,
wanna
yes.
every meet your brothers and sisters, and I went reaching out to the Aboriginal people, and they looked at us like we were crazy.
They're like, we don't understand
Said,
what y'all are doing over here."
uh
They may not have gotten there yet. They may not
but
have.
it was alright. I mean, it was fine, but it was the
Yeah.
enthusiasm of, you know, young women who were, you destined to stay in this business for decades, you know, just being so excited. It
That's
was just an
amazing.
amazing time. So that was the first thing.
Okay.
And then they did 4 Color Girls at the Huntington Hartford in Los Angeles.
Mm.
So that company went to Los Angeles, and that got me to Hollywood with a check, girl.
Come on
I
now.
had a
She's on the
check.
way,
I'm
the
like,
way
"Hello."
to Hollywood.
And then Columbia Pictures was going back to the old studio system, and
Where they
they
would
were
sign
interviewing
people to the
a
actual studio?
contract.
Wow.
So I went through that workshop.
How was that? I mean, that's a whole different life. Break that down for us, because people don't know. Back in the day before, you didn't have, like, just a
Well
one
well well
contract,
well,
right?
they that had stopped long ago,
Right.
but they were trying to return to it, right?
Oh.
So this was the president at that time of Columbia, like, that was his baby. They wanted to go back to the studio system, and so they, you know, looked at people, invited them to be a part of a workshop. I did. So we had, you know, acting classes,
Mhm.
and they didn't do the grooming as much, but it was a lot of acting, directors coming, and Marty Red, who directed Sounder, uh, I don't remember if Neil Simon came, but
Wow.
people came and taught us and
So you were coached by some
lectured
people who
us.
were already
Well,
there.
right.
That's nice.
Then there was a regime change at Columbia. So the next people were like, "No, no, we don't care about this for, you know, cut it, slash it, no."
Wow.
And then the LA Times was going to do one of those, what do you call it when
An
they do
expose,
an
write up.
expose
Mhm.
on how they had strung all these people out and thinking that they were going to get contracts. So then I was one of, I think, the 3 people who ended up getting a contract, but it
Wow.
wasn't for a year, it was for 6 months. But there I was in Hollywood, 6
With a
months
check?
with checks. It
Did
was
they
like,
did they
"Yes,
book you
girl."
with anything during that time period?
No, but I had to ask them permission to turn around, to walk outside.
So there, it wasn't as good as it looked, right? Okay, so you had to abide by these rules, these standards. You can only do stuff with Columbia.
So yeah, only stuff with Columbia if they had something for us to do. But of course, they wanted to squash the whole thing
Right.
and they just wanted to shut all the press down and all that. So I went and auditioned for something called Dear Detective with Brenda Vaccaro, who was back in the day,
Mhm.
Brenda Vaccaro, and it was to play her receptionist. So, you know, they say, as long as you don't bump into the furniture and you remember your lines, you're fine.
Yeah.
I did both of them.
What happened?
It was terrible. I was just supposed to walk in and
What happened? Were you just too geeked up or what was
I was
it?
too nervous.
Yeah.
Look at you never done that. You this okay, actually, where's the actress? Do they have it? Okay. All right. Touch-ups, what? Okay. And everybody's like fooling with you and you go to rehearsal. Okay, here's your mark. What's a mark?
Exactly.
They didn't teach us that at Columbia.
I don't know about
Nobody put an orange X on the floor and said, "Okay, hit it,"
Right.
without looking.
Right.
Nobody did that. They didn't teach us. They wanted us to fail.
Oh,
So it's
gosh.
just put the X on the ground, and they're like, "Okay, that's your mark."
Got it. And scene. Go.
And scene
Action.
go. Bump, bump, and the veil goes, and the thing goes. It's
Uh-huh.
like, and he said, "Hit your mark." Okay, I missed the mark. Okay, go back. Okay, all right, take her. Okay, let's go back.
Who brought this?
That's
chick in
okay,
here?
honey. No problem. It'll be fine. Okay, let's go again. Okay, you got that mark? Okay, does she need a sandbag? It was, and sandbags are
Aw.
insulting.
I didn't know. Okay, I thought they were just for to hold the.
No,
the
they're
fuck
for
out.
so if you think you're gonna miss the bar, you bump into the sandbag and it stops you, right? So there was that. So then when I finally got the mark, I could not remember the line. And the line was something as simple as, Mr. Thompson called you today and he wants you to come by. Something suspicious happened over and he wants you there. He wants to share it with you.
Right.
Something like that. I couldn't remember
Oh
anything.
my god.
And then the next time I did it and I bumped the chair as I went, it was awful. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I'll never be able to act. Film acting,
Right. Right.
stage
Right.
I was miserable and terrified that I would always make those mistakes. It was
Aw.
it was so uncomfortable.
But that was then. You
That
made it
was then.
through.
Oh yes, girl, it was fine. I mean, I went to study.
Mhm.
To study acting in a different way than I ever had with
And what was
David
that?
LeGrand. It was really taking control. He said, "No, it doesn't happen to you. Your nerves get in the way of the work." So it
Mm.
was relaxation exercises. It was sense memory exercises that help you evoke emotion from the past that you can use in the moment
Mhm.
to be honest about it. So it was all that exercise after exercise that like ballerinas do.
Wow.
Not the kind of like college acting thing.
Mhm.
It
But because
was
this was the real deal.
this was the real deal,
Yeah.
and my ego was like, "Okay, I am not going to be the stupid I am going to learn how to do this right."
Yeah.
And I stayed with him studying on and off through Silverado, up through Josephine Baker.
Really?
Well, how
But you know
long
what?
do dancers do bar?
Exactly. All the
How
time. They still
long do
practice
do
forever.
singers do scales?
Mhm.
And until you just know you've got it and you know what
Yeah.
to do. So, that's the exercise and the technique of it. So,
So now that you have that foundation and you look back, what's changed in acting now when you approach things? I mean, not just your experience, but even when you look at newer actors, what methods have changed from then to now?
I think that's very personal for every actor. I
Got
think
it.
some people just have a natural knack for it. They never studied anything and they just kind of go and do it. But technique technique doesn't change. I mean, just uh, the technique of ballet never changes.
Right.
Of opera never changes. You may take one approach or the other, but good technique is good technique,
It's
and
just
good
like riding a
technique
bike.
is
Yeah.
well, it's only to make you free to do what you wanna do. That's
Hmm.
all it is. So,
Hmm.
I don't see how that's not
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter
Yeah.
as long as people know how to get themselves there.
And you've gotten yourself there time and time again. And since you
So much
mentioned
fun.
Josephine Baker, what was it like playing someone who was so, I mean, you gave us a whole new light. So you were talking about history before, and we'd heard about Josephine Baker, but you just
Yeah.
brought it to life. And now it's almost When I hear Josephine Baker, I see Lynn Whitfield. That's how deeply ingrained that
And thus
movie
far, she
is.
hasn't said it as anybody else.
Oh, she
The
hasn't.
spirit of Josephine has not, like, it hasn't happened yet.
It
I
hasn't.
want it to, but it'll happen the right continuum because her spirit on that set was strong.
Really?
If the costume it would rip.
Mhm.
If the set was funny, something would happen, the flat would fall down. Nothing if it wasn't right, something stopped it all. I remember when they wanted to shoot and introduce the Rainbow Tribe,
Mhm.
they did not have the African child. They didn't have Kofi,
Right.
and it something, like, just grabbed me almost like and I was scared, this is my big shot,
Right.
and it's, like, grabbed me, and it's like, "You can't shoot this without the African child."
And did you bring it up to somebody?
And I said, "I'm sorry, but where's Kofi?"
Mhm.
They said, "We couldn't find an African ch we couldn't find
We
one."
couldn't find
They
one.
were in Budapest. We were in
Oh,
Budapest
okay.
right after the wall came down. So and they said, "We couldn't find a child." I said, "Well" and it was like, "Well, I can't shoot it until you have the African child because that's a real misrepresentation
Of what her
of who
rainbow
she
tribe
was,
was.
and what statement would that make about her?" And I mustered my strength to really be clear about it, and the director backed me up. I was shaking in my
But
boots.
that's bold because even now folks don't wanna say things to directors because of, "I could be
But the
canceled, I can be
director
kicked
back yeah,
off."
yeah,
Yeah.
and all of that.
Yeah.
But I had to. What would that say? That she didn't love herself.
Right.
She had the child from Switzerland, from Sweden, from Brazil, from all these places. Where's the black baby?
Come on.
So I had to do it. I was terrified, but it worked out.
I think it did.
It worked
I
out,
think
and they
it
and
did.
people respected me for it,
Yeah,
so
that movie was amazing though, for real, and it really gave us a whole taste of, again, Josephine Baker, but really Lynn Whitfield in a whole different light.
channeling her.
Yes. That was
Yes.
amazing. Did you feel like you had to kinda break out of that after that role? Did you have to kinda shake off and do something
I
totally
never
different?
have. It hasn't completely all gone away.
Really?
That quote that always people are saying, like, "Lynn Whitfield may play mean, but she never plays broke."
Mhm.
That's still from the patina of Josephine Baker.
Wow.
It's still that still is there. I mean, I guess it's not a bad place to be, but I want people to know I can do anything.
We know you can do anything. We saw you as,
Not anything, but I mean, I have range.
yes.
I do have
Yes,
range.
we know. From
Okay.
that from that to even the
Okay, think of
thin
something. Don't
line.
just yes, she was still all dressed up.
But what about Women of Brewster Place? What about
Did you ever see Sophie and the Moon Hanger?
No, I didn't see that
I
one.
played a maid.
Lynn Whitfield?
I played a maid, and when I was up in there sweeping that lady's house, and she asked me and I went on a date with a guy, right? And
Uh-huh.
I'm sweeping, and then I'm ironing, and then she says, "Sophie, you got a big smile on your face." I said, "I had a date." And she says, "Well, if would you go out with him again?" And I really had to focus on this. "Yes, ma'am, if he asks me." No, I'm axes. I had to multiple acts.
Uh-huh.
"Yes, if he asks me."
Asks
I
me. Yes,
really
I know, yes.
I but and I did it, and it was believable, and it
Mhm.
was beautiful. It's a beautiful story, very Zora Neale Hurston-esque,
Okay.
though she didn't write it. It's a gorgeous story, but those don't stick.
Because
You
we
look
haven't
at
heard.
well, you looking like a little bit interested.
I am. No. I'm based on what you're saying. Now I
Okay,
have to
I
go back
want
and
you to
research
find
it.
it.
I
Yes,
will
yes.
find
And
it.
my boss, what
Okay.
it is that the lady that I work for, and we were friends, as happens in the South,
Mhm.
you can make friends across racial lines,
Yeah.
and women would stick together because none of them could do much, if
Mhm.
anything. But her husband was a grand wizard in the Ku Klux Klan, and in cleaning, my character found that, and
Wow.
that's where she had to make choices.
When did this story come out? This movie come out?
After Josephine Baker,
Really?
Mhm, and I think it was on it's they call it USA
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Today. I think it should be
I'm gonna go and find
released.
it. I'm gonna
Go
find
and
it.
find
I'm
it.
gonna tag you
And
and
the
let you
woman in
know.
Brewster Place was not rich,
No, it was not.
and there've been a lot of them, but the ones that stick,
Because I don't know, I think it's just the what you give off, that aura you give off when you
y'all
play
just
it, it's
like
just
seeing all that too.
I think we do,
I
but it gives you something like, you're like, "We don't see a lot of that." Like, I was telling our camera guy,
yeah.
"You play the role like the powerful diva," and it's I don't know, it's almost you wanna attain that kind of space.
Oh, yes, because the thing is that I don't feel that we have to push and overstate. We walk this earth because we deserve to be here.
Yes.
So I think part of what it is a sense of entitlement to hold space. So she doesn't have to strut her stuff so hard and
Mhm.
all that. Like, look at my chandeliers.
Right.
I got silver. No, she just has silver.
It's
Silver, silver. It's
effortless.
effortless. Don't you know those women? You
Mhm.
know those women.
I do, but when we see this portrayal
Well, so because listen, my grandmother, both my grandmothers were different in many ways, but they showed me that you deserve to hold space, even though they had their issues.
Mhm.
My mother's mother, she it was very complex, I now know, but I know that she held her proper place well, even though maybe she didn't feel like she deserved to be there.
Mhm.
My other grandmother knew. But do you remember years ago, or you too young? It was on Newsweek. I remember Newsweek or Time magazine that the original DNA of mankind was an African woman.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that right my first few weeks in Hollywood. I was like begging people, just really wanting to work. I believed it. I never stopped believing it.
But that's another level of confidence that you
No,
have.
but it wasn't me. It's just the truth.
Yes.
It's just what it's just what is. It's not me. I don't have the confidence, but I know that we deserve to hold space on this earth.
Mhm.
I know that that is a for real, sure space that absolutely no one else can fill.
Come on.
It's not up for grabs. It cannot be usurped. And I think that's what Dr. Angelou meant when she asked the question, like, why are you so upset?
Mhm.
Because I might not have SHI,
Mhm,
asterisk,
mhm.
asterisk, but
But the way that I
why
walk is the
why are you mad
yeah.
that I walk in here like I got gold mines
Mhm.
pumping in my own backyard? What is your problem with that? Why are you upset that I dance like I got
In
diamonds
my
at the meeting of
thighs.
my thigh?
Come on.
What is the problem with that? I think that's what Nikki Giovanni was talking about
Mhm.
when, she talked about, her daughter being Nefertiti and she gave Hannibal, elephant. He gave her Rome for Mother's Day. She blew
Mhm.
her nose and created the Ice Age and sent it to
I
Europe,
haven't heard
child.
that in so
We're
long. Yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
We are amazing. And so even though I don't have all that I desired as an artist or a woman, I just believe that we deserve that we're the best.
We are the best.
And nobody if people gave me a choice, I would never choose to be any.
Anything but
No,
who we are.
no. I really
But that's a level of confidence. This is what I'm telling you.
you call
So,
that confidence
I
because
call
I feel really insecure about lots of
but what
things
we see, what
and
I'm gonna say for
doubtful.
me, what I see
Okay.
in your portrayal and the way that you carry yourself, it's someone that I want to emulate. Like, I want to be like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm,
Because you walk in gracefully, you have this aura. And I'm not, as I said, I told him this before,
yeah.
like that, that Hollywood and that just, I don't know, it's just je ne sais quoi. But I love it. I love it. So you keep saying to yourself about yourself that you don't have What is it that you think that you don't have?
Girl.
That's a whole other you said it,
I
I'm
I
just
I
asking.
I think, I think it is to claim all the pillars of all that I know is in me,
Mhm,
all of them, right?
mhm.
Because it doesn't just stop at acting. I feel in my spirit, but even at this point, and don't believe IMDb, they're lying about how long I've been here. I can't stand you, IMDb. You just do whatever you want to human beings.
Listen,
It's ridiculous. I don't care if they get mad at me. What else can they do to
don't
me?
lie on Lynn
They
Whitfield.
just put that, don't be lying on me. But I mean, even at this point, like I haven't, and it's not on anybody else,
Mhm.
but it's for me to do, to know, to be, to do. And so, and I haven't because there's so much that I see that I vision, envision.
But our dreams have no expiration date. We know
I
this.
know they don't. I
So,
know they don't. All
okay.
right. Oh God. I keep saying things out loud that I have to be held accountable
No,
for.
come on now. I mean,
Oh
listen,
God.
we're holding space together. Holding
Yes.
space
All
together
right, my love.
while watching The Shy
Yeah.
and doing it at the same time. I know they're like, they're going a whole different
We have
direction.
gone,
But I love it
but
though.
the shy, we're so I'm so excited that you're having me here for that because Alicia, she's one of those women,
Mhm.
I
That has
think, in her
all
own way.
multifaceted.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, that
multifaceted.
has all of that
So
going
we
on.
have the season finale, the first half of the season finale coming up Friday 28th. Whereas let's say
The
for today,
second
because
half,
we're gonna
yes,
run
the
this today.
second half.
Yes.
It's the second
It's the
half of
second
the season.
half
Yes.
and it
And it's the
drops
finale of the entire season.
okay.
Mhm.
And it has been renewed for a seventh season. What will we be seeing in this finale? Can you give us a little snippet?
I think you'll be seeing like roller coaster rides of things that are just and deconstruction and reconstruction, and it's just going to be things
She's
that you
not
won't
telling me
even.
anything. You're not telling me anything. But we need to watch it. Make sure you're watching it to see what
Yes,
happens with
please
all the
watch.
action.
Please watch. And thank everybody for just really, they just really sent us into the stratosphere of ratings this season.
That's
It's
awesome.
amazing in a sixth season. And I'm the newbie on the block.
Yes.
So I got to come in. I was like, the train had already left the station, child. I got to,
But you came in there
but
stepping and strutting.
I came in there and it's been amazing. The ratings
Yes.
are better than ever. So it's so exciting to be involved with.
It's whole different because this is different from the Greenleaf stuff that you were just in. That's a whole different kind of
Oh,
vibe.
definitely. Somebody said on the internet said, well, the difference between there's a lot of similarities between Lady May and Alicia, but uh where Lady May will pray for you, Alicia will just kill you.
And that's the truth.
Alicia would rather kill you than pray for you.
That's the
That's the
truth.
thing.
That's it. Listen, I
Yes.
love having you here. Before you go, look. All right, so
Yes.
let's talk some favorites. What's your favorite movie to watch?
Oh, uh, I probably have a bunch.
Give me one.
Okay. Something's gotta give.
I love that movie. I love that movie. All right,
It is
cool.
never not fabulous
Yes, yes, yes.
and complex and funny
Mhm.
and real. I just love it, and I just dream to see a story like that on brown and black people. It
Mhm.
makes me just want to, because I feel all that.
Then let's produce it.
Like, well,
I don't
come
have any
on,
backing.
girl.
I have ideas.
Oh, see, that's the point.
I don't have any backing. Look, you're on the Shy with
So
Lena
we're
Waithe.
talking
Tell
about it.
Lena.
So,
Hey, Lena. Lynn needs this thing. Come on, let's make it happen.
well,
There
yes,
we go.
yes, that I want to create with you. And
Yes.
so,
But
it's
those kinds of
like
stories do need to be told from a
that's
different
what I'm
lens.
saying
Yeah.
because we need to see, you know, men and women
And different ages going
grown-ups,
through.
yeah,
Yes.
going through it
Mhm.
and taking all of their not just little, travel bags of baggage, but trunks of
Of real
stuff
life stuff.
and figuring out how they can live a life of partnership
Yeah.
or not. But to take an approach that is, to see it and have it be funny because it is funny. We might not always want to laugh at it when it's
Right.
happening, but it's pretty delightful
I think those are
to see
stories that do
people
need to be
survive.
told.
So I love that's one of my favorite movies that I absolutely adore. You should watch it. The sad thing is that we need one, like I said, with black and brown people
Mhm.
or mixed or
Mhm.
whatever, diverse.
Mhm.
But I really would like to see that. But I always and forever enjoy that movie. I always and forever cry.
Aw, all right, look, we're gonna put that on you. Yes, we're gonna do that.
Okay.
What's your favorite fast food? You're on the road, you're traveling, I gotta get something, hungry. Where are you stopping? And what are we getting?
Girl. Well, I know that it's so terrible, but if I have to, I know that I shouldn't have it, but just as long as it's not too salty, just 1 leg and 1 wing from Popeyes
Come
will
on,
do.
Popeyes, spicy or mild?
It depends.
Look,
It depends. If I'm really like and if I'm stopping and I have my little sake or I have my little maybe spicy,
okay.
but
And an extra
I have a better chance of it not being over salted if I get the plain.
Okay,
Mhm.
there you go.
Biscuits, a biscuit has got to be slaying for me because there's no way that after you chew for a while, it doesn't turn into dough.
That is true.
So
But if
yeah,
it's nice and
eat
hot, has a little glaze of
buttery,
butter,
buttery, crisp on the
come
outside, that
on,
I can deal
and a
with
little
that.
fluffy.
But now here's the thing. Popeye's red beans and rice, now they're not joking.
And I don't do red beans and rice. I don't like
Well, you
it.
lost part of your black
No,
card.
ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am. Give it back. And
Okay,
you're
you
from
can have it
Louisiana
back.
also,
You can have
so
it back.
yeah.
You're from Louisiana?
You no, I'm saying you are, so you
I
have it.
am, I am.
Yes.
So you don't like what do you like black eyed
I love
peas?
black eyed peas.
Okay, okay.
Okay, there
Well,
we go.
that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah. No,
thank you.
yes, absolutely. As long as yeah, you're cool.
All right,
Don't
cool.
worry
And
about
and
it.
and we started the conversation off talking about how great you look. I need a beauty secret. What do you do? What is it? What are we using?
You know what I've known for a really long time is that what I think often what people do, and I really need to now because I've been on the road, but what people do is they try to condition and moisturize old skin. But in the Bible, they say, you don't put new wine
In the old
in
skins.
old
Don't do
skins.
it.
But a lot of that rolls off.
Yeah.
So exfoliation is really important because why would people spend hundreds of dollars on creams and then keep all that old
You know
wrinkled
what? Why
skin
why you
on top.
talking about me? Because I haven't even had any exfoliation
No,
in a
no,
minute.
no,
Why?
but you
Why?
look
Why you talking
beautiful.
about me?
But I'm saying I think
Yeah.
exfoliation is really important and sunblock.
Mhm,
When
mhm.
I don't do that, and I live in New Orleans part of the time, and when I'm on that balcony, I'm still suffering it. And not having the sunblock,
Yeah.
the splotches make us look older. That's how we do.
Yes.
So sunblock exfoliation, but I'm not gonna say it because I want them to give me one, but I want one of those. I think that and I've seen the result of the light therapy
Yes,
masks
yes,
being
yes. You
really
talking like the red light therapy thingy?
red light, but they're
Yeah.
different lights. There's one for discoloration.
Oh, I
Some of
didn't
them
know
do many lights
that.
and yellow for tightening and blue for something else. So they have all, and you can. So I think that will work because they use light therapies on bones and muscles
Yes, they do.
on it. So I think it should work.
Okay, we might have to try it out. We might have to test a little something. All right, and so you have
Yes.
great ideas. We'd like to ask people about a hustler's tip as far as extending the brand and how have you maintained what financial advice would you give to somebody or even just business advice in the industry?
That, you never know what's coming around the pike, good or what drought might be coming for a
Yes,
while.
ma'am.
And so it's important to not be overly confident uh, with your savings, to not be overly confident that I can spend all this and more is coming. How do I know? I did that. So, it doesn't make any sense. We have these windfalls of great fortune. We need to set ourselves up to extend the time. Just look in the last year, there was an actor strike,
I
there was
know.
COVID.
Yeah.
So in a space of like 3 years, there was about 2 years or more where people couldn't work. So I think, to prepare ourselves for that. And girl, these $5,000 and $10,000 bags, they might sound good, but
Listen, I do not spend money on a bag. I
I
will go to Amazon and get me a $69 bag. None will be the wiser. And if I really
I
want to
did
go down to Canal Street,
I do not I know. And for my Senegalese brothers, I'm gonna find them. No, but look, here's what I'm trying to say though. If it depreciates the moment you buy it,
right.
I mean, some of them don't, but how many people can afford
The
those
real.
the Birkin bags that, appreciate or whatever? I just think that the peer pressure of the length of your lash, the price of your bag,
It's a whole different game
it's
now.
just so much.
Mhm.
It's so hard, and it can make people feel bad and push them past their limit
Yeah.
and their financial abilities to keep up with all that.
Hmm.
So I would say, stay in your happy, comfortable place,
Okay.
because things don't have to cost $1,000,000 to look like they do.
That's it. That's it right there. And finally, as we wrap up, because we know we're going to be watching The Shy, we're going to watch
Yes.
the season finale,
Yes.
Showtime, Paramount Plus.
Yes.
Give us some words of encouragement. What would you say to inspire someone? Doesn't have to be for the industry, but just something that you hold dear, maybe a quote or something.
Oh, I'm just really inspired by when the shy came along and all that, the power of our vision, that we're all visionaries.
So, were you visualizing this, or did you?
Not this, but
Mhm.
I was visualizing a continuum of something
Yeah.
that and affirming a space that I know nothing about, you know? And I talked to this life coach and she said, lots of times people journal, this happened to me today and I was so sad and this hurt me and that but affirming I'm
Mm.
unstoppable, affirming that there are people talking about me in rooms that I know nothing about, affirming that what you envision is yours. All of that, we we have to posit good thoughts within our own consciousness. And if other people aren't doing it, husbands, boyfriends, children, your coworkers, your bosses, or whatever, we have a kind of a supernatural power
Mm.
to do that for ourselves. Now, where's the mirror so I can say it to myself?
Yes, I don't have it
But
here, but yes, we're not going to pretend.
but yes,
Yes.
we just have to remind ourselves that our words and our visions have power.
Perfect. Miss Lynn Whitfield, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having
This has been
me.
an amazing journey. How's your daughter?
My gosh, she's doing so beautifully. Her music is extraordinary. Her talent is overwhelming. It's time for the team and it's time for everybody to know now.
All right.
She's ready.
We can't wait.
Ooh, I can't wait either. Girl, where the plane? Come on. Come on.
Come on and
I
bring
will be
it.
there. I love seeing her artistry because
Yeah.
I'm entertained by it. Not because she's my kid, because I don't like mediocrity. If she was, I would say it. But
You'll be like, you need to go back and rehearse a little bit more. But that's good.
yes,
Right.
and so but she's somebody I would go to pay to see.
Definitely. Oh.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me, love. Hi, I'm Lynn Whitfield, and I'm doing a takeover on the Deja Vu show. And let me not mash up my cheeks. Well, natural is not always
Come on
gorgeous.
now, listen. We work with what we can.
Hi, I'm Lynn Whitfield, and I'm so excited because I'm doing a takeover on the Deja Vu show. Yay!